Welcome back. All right, let's put this in the ether. Right, weak minds. Right, weak minds are easily controlled and corrupt. Right, what do I mean by that? When you're weak, right, when you're mentally weak and can't think for yourself, that means if you can't think for yourself, that means people have to think for you. Government have to think for you. Right, that means you're easily corrupt. You cannot think for yourself. Right. So in order to get through life, to be a strong person, you have to have a strong mind. You cannot be a weak-minded person. Weak-minded person are the people that's put in this position and being used as puppet. They cannot distinguish what's right from wrong, what's good and evil. That's what weak mind is. You cannot be a weak-minded person. Weak-minded person will get you killed. Weak-minded person will put you in the vulnerable positions. Weak-minded person cannot survive out there. So you have to be a strong-minded person. Weak-minded cannot take criticisms, right? Weak-minded cannot improve themselves because they're weak. They're mentally weak. They are not willing to accept criticism. They cannot not willing to accept the flaws in their life and perfect themselves. That's what weak-minded is. They have to be led by people. Weak-minded people are usually followers. All right? You do not want to be these type of people. That's very insecure with themselves. That's very prone or easily stirred by what people think. All right, easily motivated by what people think. Right. So why people think you this way? Right. Just let it go. Don't be a weak-minded person. Right. All these celebrities, all right, puppets, right? All these politicians, they're actually weak-minded people. Right. These people with cult of personality. They project themselves as this kind of person in the public's eye, then behind back rooms, back doors, they're totally a different person. Those are weak-minded person. Right? Those are the people you don't want to trust. Right? Politicians, right? Some lawyers out there, right? These are very weak-minded person. They're easily to control. Look at Joe Biden. He's a weak-minded person. Why do you think they put him in that position? Because he's an easily controlled person. Right? When you're weak-minded, you're easily controlled. You're being used as a puppet. Right? You have to be strong-minded. Right? Strong-minded and consistent. That builds character in your life. That means people are willing to trust you. Right? When you stay consistent all the time. A person of characters. Those are strong-minded persons. That you're not back down because you stay consistent with your ideologies. You're not willing to change or conform by trends. Right? If you follow trend, right? Do this for the sake of trend. That means you're a weak-minded person. If you can't stay consistent, you're a weak-minded person, right? If you do this for likes, all these stuff, right? For the dopamine rush, you're a weak-minded person. You do not want to be a weak-minded person. Guys need to get themselves out of that bubble, out of that mindset. Right, does not serve men at all. Men are supposed to be strong-minded. Strong-minded person know how to make decisions in a split second. Right, they're rational. Those are strong-minded. Those are character of strong-minded persons. Right? Strong-minded is not something that people look down upon. People look up to strong-minded person. That means that you can be dependent. People could look up to you. People most likely follow you. Alright? You can be a leader. You can make decisive decisions in a split second. I already said that, right? But, strong-minded. That's why I'm advocating that guys should not be weak-minded. If you're weak-minded, you're a lower class of people. You cannot innovate. You cannot think outside the box. That's what happens when you're a weak-minded person. You're easily corrupt. Right? Easily corrupt. Pure and simple. Unfortunately, there's a lot of weak-minded men out there. Right? I hate to say it, but there are a lot of weak-minded persons that always play video games. They don't know when to grow up. Right? There are time and place to play video games. Right? You use your time wisely because those time you use to play video games, those time you could use to do something elsewhere to better yourself. Read a book. Right? Gain new skills. Learn new skills. Practice. Right? Those time are very valuable because they add value to your life. Right? Weak-minded don't do that. They just squander the time away. Right? Play video games. Do some nonsense stuff. Create crimes that does not benefit you. Right? And if it does benefit you, it benefits you for a brief moment. Then it's sometime, either sooner or later, you're gonna get caught up with your crime. Right? Those are weak-minded person. They're not forward thinkers. They don't have the clairvoyancies to see what's ahead. They don't understand consequences and repercussions in the future. Those are weak-minded persons. Right? The guy who's easily offended. Right? Guys should not be easily offended. Right? Take all the criticism you want. Right? Like, just because somebody says something, that means you should react to it. Right? You should never. Your first instinct should not react to a criticism of what people say. Right? You're supposed to dissect what people say and learn their weakness. Right? Learn from those people what they're saying. I do not react to what they're saying. Words, I know words can be powerful, but a weak-minded person are easy to be affected by words. Right? Don't be a weak-minded person. Right? A weak-minded person is people that talk a lot, always bragging about themselves, say this, that, and the third. Right? Instead of trying to listen. You need to try to listen and let the people that talk a lot show their true colors, show their true self. Right? Those are weak-minded persons. Right? You have to be strong-minded. Right? A weak-minded person could be manipulated. Right? Do you want to be manipulated? All those soy boy cucks out there, right? All these beta man simps, they're weak-minded. They're easily manipulated by culture, by people, right? By women. Right? Don't be easily manipulated. Easily gaslighted. Right? Tell you one thing, easily saying that you're a different gender, easily persuaded, right? Easily saying that that anybody could be a woman. Those are weak-minded people, right? These are weak, frail, weak-minded people that identify themselves as something else, which they are really not. That don't understand reality, don't understand concept of what's factual, what's not factual. These are weak-minded people, right? We are living in a weak society right now. Right? If you're not inclined, if you haven't noticed, right, the thing that's going around right now is promoted by weak people. Right? These rainbow communities, these rainbow coalitions, right? It's promoted by weak people. Right? Weak people are considered themselves as victim all the time. Why do you consider yourself as a victim? Why can you consider yourself as a victor? Right? Why can you see yourself as a dominant figure? Right? Consider yourself as a victim is a wrong set of mind, is a wrong way of thinking stuff about yourself. You should never think down of yourself. You're supposed to think highly of yourself, right? Accept yourself for who you are. You are a male with male body parts. Accept that. That's acceptance. When you learn to accept things the way they are, you're more content with life. You're not sporadic. You're not irrational, right? When you can't accept yourself, you're irrational, right? When you can't accept your failure and not learn from it, you're irrational, right? You have to learn from your failures and improve upon it. If you can't do that, you're a weak person. Right? You're getting beat down all the time. You quit all the time. You never quit. Right? Weak people quit all the time. Weak people don't know their strong suits. Right? So don't be a weak-minded person. A strong-minded person never stops chasing what they want. Never stop pursuing. Better themselves all the time. Learn new skills. Right? Get rid of bad habits. Those are weak-minded persons. Identify themselves, who they are. Realize who they are. All right? Not what the culture are telling who they are. Don't follow culture. Weak people follow culture. Right? Follow trend. Those are weak people. Don't follow trend. Create your own trend. Be a leader. Innovate something for yourself. Right? Weak people don't do that. Right? You're going to have to be strong in the society. Right? You have to be strong-minded, because if you're not strong-minded, you're easily going to be destroyed in life. It's a dog-eat-dog world out there. They can eat you alive if you're weak-minded. You have to understand that being weak is not ideal for survival, right? The weakest link, right, always get destroyed. Don't be the weakest link. Lead yourself. Don't let other people lead for you, right? Tell yourself this, right? Weak-minded cannot do that. Weak-minded have to listen to people. Weak-minded, right, have to follow trends. They have to have a leader for them, right? Don't let me be your leader, man. Be your own leader. I'm just giving you insight of how you should be out there, right? Be your own person. Make your own choices in life. Don't let people think for you. Don't let people manipulate you. Because weak-minded are easily manipulated. You have to conquer society. You have to conquer culture. In order for you to do that, you have to be strong-minded. But let me know what you think. If I'm missing something, leave a comment below. As always, like, share, subscribe. Peace and blessings.